In 1979, the art of visual filmmaking reached its absolute peak. Apocalypse Now is without a doubt the best looking movie I've ever seen and the greatest war film of all time. A soldier is sent through the hell of the Vietnam War through this river to kill a colonel who's gone insane. Along the way, he is faced with plenty of people who have also gone insane in the horrors of the Vietnam War. This is a film that completely gets you inside the mind of a soldier. When you combine these visuals with the context and the music, it makes for fantastic storytelling. Every soldier death in this movie is effective in one way or another. Every scene has a point to be made. The movie chooses what's probably the best aesthetic ever and sticks to it, and it just looks fantastic throughout. And Sheen is this soldier, this jaded soldier who's just addicted to war. He was fantastic. Dead stare, his grovelly voice, it brought such a gravitas to that character, along with the narration. Robert Duvall as this commander who's just gone bonkers. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. He's great. Great. You are in the presence of greatness. Marlon Brando, there is an interesting story behind his performance in this movie. When they were shooting this movie, Marlon Brando would show up to set overweight and he couldn't remember his lines. So, they had to get creative. And they shot him with these shadows and just made the scene so much more effective than it would have been. And that is true filmmaking. Overcoming all these obstacles to make something incredible. Using your obstacles to your advantage. This movie has a couple of the best songs ever. The End by The Doors and I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. As well as an amazingly intense score by Francis Ford Coppola's brother, Carmine Coppola. I want you guys to understand that Francis Ford Coppola was making this movie for like 3 years. Not over 200 hours of footage, and he spent 16 months in this awful, awful jungle. Eastwood and Al Pacino turned down the lead role, and he was going crazy. He threatened to commit suicide, but he pushed through it, and look what came out. Ford Coppola suffered for his art, and in turn, we got the greatest war movie of all time. Now, what makes this movie the greatest is that it does something that no other war movie has ever done. Instead of showing the gritty realism of the war like Platoon or Saving Private Ryan, this movie gets inside the soldiers' heads. Now, as I said before, this is visual filmmaking at its finest, and it deserves to be watched by everyone. Spend money, if you have to see this movie, because a man went through hell and back for this, and it deserves to be respected and viewed and praised. Apocalypse Now absolutely gets an A+.